Well, good evening. I hope everybody's having a good Monday so far. And I thought we would do another step-by-step guide on how to draw another bird that I like to see. And it's the Caribbean pink flamingo. So we're going to get started on it. And it's a simple 4 steps. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw what seems like to be a bit of a big 2. So I'm going to start up. I'm going to come back. And I'm going to make basically a 2. Now the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to take this 2 and we're actually going to form the body of our flamingo. So I'm going to start right there. I'm going to make the rest of the round and I'm going to make that nice skinny neck. All right. Then I'm going to come all the way down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it all the way back and kind of blend it right into that beginning of the 2. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to put in that fantastic beak that we see they have, like that. I'm going to draw myself a nice eye. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to put in the wing on the side and kind of just give me a little bit of a start right there. Now, the last thing we're going to do is the legs. Now, look at my example here. This is made really easy. If you look at it, who recognizes the number 4? So when I did the first one, I did it with the number 4. I didn't really like, though, how that leg turned out. So I'm going to make my first leg coming down, and notice I'm not going to put the bottom of the leg because there's going to be some water here eventually. But what I'm going to do for the second one is I'm going to have it tucked up in the body. So I'm just going to draw the line right there, and then I'm going to have that little foot kind of sticking out right there. And I'm just going to make my little feet. And I didn't like having the feet bending down and hanging down. It looks like for some reason his ankle's broken and he's holding it up waiting for somebody to help out. All right, now we've got all of our detail, and as you can see, he looks like our traditional flamingo with that leg. But now I've got this stick out here. So what we do, if it's not going to be not going to show the foot, is I'm going to draw little circles around, showing the little water being disturbed by that leg. And now you can see it kind of looks like it. Let's go in, and you know what? I'm going to draw my foot a little bit different. This is the nice thing about having an eraser. Okay. I'm going to draw his knee, kind of coming out here and like this. And then I'm going to draw his foot here because when it was up like there, it looked like he was actually about to use the restroom rather than me drawing his foot. Now it actually looks like his foot's bent up on his knee. The thing you can do is you can draw a little bit of a knee because they do have little knee bones. All right. Now what we're going to do now is I'm just going to add some of the fine details. And that is first of all, is I'm going to draw across here. And I'm just going to say that that's my water line right there. Now, if you look at this one here, I decided to draw some grass and some bushes. You could do any kind of background you want. You could make this a sky background, but let's go ahead and do a little bit of the coloration. I'm going to start it first, and I'm just going to do a simple blue because they do spend an incredible amount of time in the water. So coloring the water blue makes sense. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking you're going to be using a lot of pink to color this particular pink bird. You know, flamingos aren't actually pink. They're kind of an orangey color. I don't know if how many of you know this, but the color is actually, they're not born pink. They're actually born a grayish white, and their feathers slowly turn into that pinky coral color due to the dye that is in the brine shrimp and the cyanobacteria that they consume. Now, I'm going to go ahead. We know that the end of their beak is black. So I'm going to take that black and I'm going to start that beak. I'm going to do that. Then let's talk about the fact that we're going to put that orange and that pink in. And I'm just going to kind of fade it right up to the eye area. Adding in that pink we talked about. Kind of a blend. There we go. Now, there we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and continue the pink of the body down, but see how it's just straight pink? That's really not what color they are. So we're going to add that orange in to get that overall salmon color that they can be. Of course, you use your imagination and make it as colorful as you want. That color really does depend, like I said, on what they eat. And whether they have a lot of cyanobacteria that they eat or if it's mostly that brine shrimp. Now, when we get to the back of the bird doesn't have that that pinky orange color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to kind of give myself that look to where we can see that wing right there has more of an edge. Kind of helps identify it. Same thing with the pink. See how I kind of like layer the two colors together? And when you lay them together, you kind of actually get a little bit more of what flamingos might look like. Once you draw one of these, you can actually make it pretty easy to get yourself a whole group of them by just taking that little 2 that we talked about and flipping it around to where it's backwards. Now, they do have a real bright set of feathers in the back. So I'm going to take that orange again and see how I'm going to lighten it a little bit. And then I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to take that pink right on top. I'm going to blend it right in. So you see we kind of got a little bit of a blend of that color. Excellent. Now their legs are traditionally a whitish color, but on this background I really want to show up. So I'm going to go ahead, kind of go out of the natural color because I really want to be able to see that foot. Now let's talk about the background. Maybe you want to have the background be a whole bunch of reeds out there. You want to have those green bushes. This is at the point where you can do anything you want to do. We'll start off. You can tell I draw cattails a lot. Gotta watch it. I grab a green pencil before I know long. Everything that I'm drawing looks like cattails from the wetland. We don't see pink flamingos at the wetland. See, now I've got my pink going in there, and I'm going to show you in a minute how we're going to blend this all in. I think the pink just kind of blends in. So I'm going to do this. And for that last one, I'm going to get my nice dark green. I'm going to blend that in. There we go. You can find some of the other species that are common to hang around the flamingo. But as you can see, starting out with just a simple 2, we now have ourselves another flamingo. And look how this one is different just by the shape of the 2. So have fun drawing your flamingo today.